Hi there today. Hey, I love the idea as a classroom teacher to have a website that is set up with almost like Walmart. It's a one-stop shopping type website where my students can go and get all the information that I want for my class set up for them. With that being said, I have my home site here already set up. But what I'd love to be able to do is have my students be able to have a forum where I could post questions. I could have students interact with each other, not only answer each other's questions, but give tips, studying tips or words of encouragement. So, but obviously the hardest part about all that is the ability to monitor. So, with a little bit of research through the class, I was able to find a way to take my own personal website, which I will go back to. This is what my front page looks like. And I made a page for just my students, my fellow students. And on it, I was able to put on a forum that the students would be able to ask questions potentially to me. I would be able to answer them, and then everybody would be able to see those types of answers. Maybe it's before a test. I could open up a window of like a couple hours before, the night before, and if anybody had tests while they're or questions while they're studying, I could post it and everybody could see their answers, because we always know that students tend to have the same or similar questions. So I'm going to show you how I did this. So you got to do two things involving Google. The first thing that you have to do is you have to go to Google Groups. And if I was to show you what right here is the icon that you would be looking for. If you click down in the waffle grid, as I like to call it, and I've had so many people, and since I've used it before, it shows up right here in my top page with groups. I would click that, and then it gives me the option to create a group. If you are in a school setting, sometimes your administrator will restrict this, and there'll be certain things. So you definitely want to talk to your building administrator or your tech administrator as well. So when I went ahead and did this, I created a group. I would click that, and then it would give me the description, and then it obviously gives me an email that it would be the group email. So if I send something to them, you would want to, after getting it all set up, I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of this since I already have this. I'm going to click on the one that I made for this class. You would be able to manage the group. And this is basically the exact same page that just showed up, just with it being filled out. So on this first page where it says general information, if you look down to the left, I'm circling right now. If you go to general information, we're going to look for the embedding your group. And this is the code right here that you want. Okay, and I'm going to reference this here in a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this, or I'm going to just copy it so I have it for later. So now when you set this up, you can invite different members, all members. This will tell you who's in it. You can directly send emails out. So when I did my students, we have an email list that's already been created through our school that I just put that in. It was like seven green students there. You see it pop up where I can send messages out, and that would invite my entire group into all my students into this group. And then I would obviously click add. Since this is a different group, I'm not going to obviously add them. Now, when we have that all set up, once again, I want to go back to the idea that you have your embedding code. This is very important. Okay. So when we do this, we are going to go back to our website. Now, this is my website in view mode. If you want to edit, you have to go down into where it says edit this page. I already have one page opened up with this ready to go. So what I would do, and this is what I really like about Google Sites, is it's very user friendly. You don't like something, you can delete the whole thing, you can move stuff around, but it's very basic, but it's great for what we need to do, because we don't want, you can get lost in all the bells and whistles and all the details. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how I got that. So I would add something else. I would embed. I'd hit the embed code. They'll give you two options, the URL code or the embed code. I want the embed code. I'm going to go ahead, and I have it copied onto my clipboard. I had to copy it. It was Control C. To paste it is Control V, or I can also right click and paste it in. So now it's got my code in there. I'm going to hit next and it'll show you what it looks like. There you go. So then I can go ahead and just hit insert, and then you will see what this looks like to everybody else. So now you can obviously size it the way that you want. Okay. And now it is embedded into my website where I can talk to my kids, leave messages, answer questions, and then everybody sees the answers. Make sure when you're done with this, you hit publish. Okay. And when you're done, just to double check it, you can go ahead and just view public site and it'll take you right to it. So to make sure everything looks good. And on this site, you'll see that I will now have two forums on there. I have one, it's the same forum, but just to show you how this was done. And this is a great activity to allow your students to interact with each other. Now, some of the assignments that I have going with this, I mean, the obvious ones is posting questions, kids answering it, requiring kids to reply to each other's responses. We also want to do in my class something called the class TA, or the teacher's assistant. And what they would do is go on there and give tips. So some of my higher students that just want to be helpful, I would give them this responsibility where they could go and say, hey, this is something that I do with this section. You know, here's two things that you guys, and everybody can read it. Something else that they would be able to do, if I have a lower student that just doesn't get it, then they could send encouraging messages to the class like, hey guys, I know this is tough, just keep on doing, or maybe even post some just encouragement to the group. So this can be used in a number of different ways, but once again, I love the idea that it's all under one roof and that I can control it and I can monitor it. So there you go. We're able to put a Google forum or a Google group into your website by just embedding it in like other Google tools. Have a good day.